I mean, I've thought about that a lot. Obviously, it did feel. I have to say, because I was there exactly 1 year, and it did feel a little bit like we formed this really awesome team. Because those guys, the guys that they put with me, Dan Stupp and Ben Foltz and Chad Dundas and all those guys, you know, either you've worked with them or you've been around them long enough for a decade, you know, where you know that what they're made of. And so to be in that group was really kind of cool. And it's weird to me, even still, this has been about 2 months later. It's weird to me even right now that it's no longer going. It felt like it was a pinch me moment that we're in that situation, but the fact that it's ended so abruptly, you know, with really no warning whatsoever is. It's the business, man. The racket is like that, but at the same time, it does kind of suck. You know what I mean? Because I felt like we had we just did this big survey where we talked to all these fighters, and we were doing there was all kinds of stuff in the hopper, man.
Right.
Just to suddenly just be like, nope, that's not happening anymore. That kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that survey was pretty amazing. If people missed that, you know, people who might be listening to the show, talk a little bit about that survey and some of the revelations that you guys got from that.
I mean, it was like we hatched the idea to do this big fighter survey. I forget exactly how many fighters we got. I believe it was about 170 total fighters, like spanning all weight classes, you know, every promotion and, you know, everything, gender, we had everything in there. And we talked to these 170 fighters, and we asked them a series of questions about, you know, PED use, cheating in sports, you know, in fighting, you know, rules, you know, just everything, weight cutting, all that stuff. And we, you know, compiled all that data, put it all together, and then came up with features based off of the results. And that very week, I mean, it was this big, long it probably took us about 6 weeks to do this project together. And we went through that whole thing. And the week that it was out was the week that they basically cut down the MMA side of the roster, the fight roster in general, because Rafe Bartholomew, who's another good writer on the boxing side, also got the axe. But it was so weird because you're waiting for this project to come out, and once it does, you can't really celebrate it anymore because you're like, well, all that work, and now I'm, you know, standing outside the window with my pockets up, you know, watching everybody. So it was one of those situations, but it was still gratifying the feedback we got from it. I felt like a lot of people thought that was doing some heavy lifting. And
for sure,
Google numbers and stuff for anybody out there in sports journalism could use those numbers as part of their pieces and all that sort of thing. So it was gratifying in the end.